This your boy HD. Everybody get up on the dance floor and go and go and go crazy. And go crazy. And go crazy. And go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. All the way from the old to LA. Go crazy like a dum-dum. Eastside homeboy, where I come from. Dance on the floor till you go numb. No fighting, no hating, no wrong. City, all the way to the bay, hit the bass, feel me. Catch a case, cause it's beating up your Chevy. Get you moving side to side, getting all sweaty. Make it work it, work it, work it out. Turn the volume up loud. It's a draw crowd, make it all shout. Go, 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 go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Hit play on the track and I'm ready. Like a quarterback, Tom Brady. Get you all in the friends. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. Go, 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 go crazy. All the way from the O to LA. The love us. We heard the buzz and turned the club up. They tear the rugs up soon as we turn the subs up. Everybody hands high like a drug bust. Yeah, I'm from the West. Don't you see the dubs up? Baptize him on the spot, fill the tubs up. I fraternize with the flocks, tell them fill the cups up. For show though, original, the type is proto. I go, crazy, crazy, yeah, loco. It's solo. The coach and look, I represent the Ocho. Immerse from the ghetto to put the devil in the logo. Either leave it on the map flat. I still can tell he back out, but when they see him tap on.
I think I see it. Perfect. It is legit stuff. It is not. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. It's choosing the most weird faces to freeze on today, but hey, it is what it is. What's going on, good people? It is Tuesday, 8:04, right on the dot, and it is time for another Scoop Show. We are so glad that you have decided to slide on in here, and for some of us, it's almost a slide. We got snow in the city. If you were in the O on this evening, we have snow. It is not sticking, but we've got snow. Okay. And so yeah, we've got some flurries and some wet stuff on this evening. So if you've decided to cuddle up with the scoop, welcome, sugars. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so glad that you are here. Go ahead and get comfortable. Go ahead and get your blanket and your earbuds and your charger and something to sip on, all that good stuff. And go ahead and drop your city and state in the comment section. Let us know where you are tuning in from. That's how we say our hey, how you doing? What's up, everybody's around here. That's how we get acquainted with our cousins in the comment section. So go ahead and drop that city and state. And while you are in that section, go ahead and hit that share button to the left of that comment bar and let your people them, your mama them, all your followers and friends, all of the people who tune in for what you do, tell them it's time to tune in to what we do over here at the Scoop, and tell them that, you want them to join the conversation over this way. All right. So that share button makes our heart go. We love you long time when you hit that share for us. Okay. So yeah, much appreciated if you do that for us, because you are welcome. Your people welcome. Everybody's welcome. All right. But we also understand that this is a busy part of the evening. This is family time. This is getting prepped for work time. This is I'm logging off time for some folks, and we understand. All right. So if you cannot hang out with us for the duration of this here conversation, we implore you to make sure that you are tuned in to all of our social media channels. We are out here, y'all. We are on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We are on SoundCloud. We out here. Okay. Yes. Come on. Slide. Yes. Thank you, bro. So go ahead while you see this beautiful image up here. Go ahead and swipe right. Save this one to your gallery so you can drop this one in the group chat and let them know. If you missed the show tonight, no worries. Okay. We don't judge around here. We understand there's lots of grace around here at the Scoop, but we do implore you to tap in and catch that replay on YouTube or Facebook. And you can do that by searching at The Scoop Show on YouTube, at Real Scoop Show on Facebook. You can check out our conversations on Instagram at The Scoop Radio Show. And if you don't have the opportunity to sit and watch our beautiful brown faces chit chat for the next few minutes, we understand. If you on the treadmill, you at work, you cannot sit and look at your phone. That's all right. Go on and tune in to us on SoundCloud at The Scoop Show. Okay. Oh my goodness.
It freezes me. It froze me.
Yeah.
You got to take a picture of the face. Take a picture of the face. Try to get a picture of the face.
Oh my God, that image just came through in the chat.
Oh, the one I sent you?
Yes. Oh my God. Sorry, y'all. Oh man, our technology boy. Most times it tickles me. But as we were getting on the show, the screen was freezing in various images of me, and it's so funny because I shared a memory of a previous show today where I was rolling my eyes very dramatically. It went so my expressions have been on blast today. So the fact that this image was chosen that was frozen. Sorry, y'all. It just popped up and I could not control that laughter. All right. So you got the swipe, you got the screen grab of how you could tap in with us. We appreciate you. Go on, drop that in the group chat. Now, these wonderful conversations that we're talking about having around here are courtesy of, Win and I are great. We've got lots of thoughts about lots of things, but we can't be everywhere all the time. All right. And because we have such amazing listeners, followers, friends, cousins, all that good stuff, y'all keep us tuned in. Okay. And we appreciate you for that. When you see something that you know is a scoop worthy conversation, if you know it's something that's going to tickle the fancy of our followers, you go and slide us that link. Okay. Tag us into that chat, tag us into that comment section so that we can see what we need to see. And we might go ahead and put that up on our pages because that is where the conversation happens. Okay. You need to be following Win and Q on the socials. That way, you know what's going on. Okay. So when you see the image that says straight out of the inbox, or if you see that hashtag that says straight out of the inbox, that image right there, that one lets you know you need to go ahead and tap in and tell us what you think. Okay. Talk to the people and tell us what is on your mind about the topic. Okay. Those come straight from you. Those come straight from the internets out here in these wild, twisty, turny streets here these days. Okay. So keep everybody tapped in and tag us into the conversation so we can talk about it straight out of the inbox. Okay. Appreciate it. Straight out of the inbox.
You good? Oh, well, you good. You good.
Okay. Good. We good. How you doing, bro?
I'm good. Yeah. I'm good. Glad to be here.
We're here.
Glad to be here. Got some good things to talk about. So yeah, I'm good. How about you?
I am good. I got a headache like 7 minutes before my hips hit this seat. So I'm waiting on this Tylenol to like ascend over my frontal lobe area because like that's where the headache did its thing. So, yeah, it's all like right here. So well, hopefully my face will relax more the time goes because that's where I'm at. But it was a good day. I was very productive today. We had lots of things going on, but
Good.
I'm ready to have these types of conversations.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's me too. So
Mhm.
especially again with the topics that we have tonight, it's like they're good topics. And I think one of the things that, for those who don't know, one of the things that like I went into this year thinking was I want to talk about stuff that's going to move us forward
Mhm.
and not things that, like a lot of the same. I'm just gonna say I don't want to talk about the silly stuff.
Mhm.
I think as
No.
people out here, we out here really trying to figure this relationship, this community thing out, and like we need to move beyond. Like I think it's more to it than I'm not minimizing these topics, but like alpha males versus, but like, you know what I mean? Like there's those things are important for in their place, but this should not take up the bulk of the conversation. I think the bulk of the conversation is how do we get to a place where we deal with the root issues that are causing us to not do relationships well.
Mhm.
So that's my hope for 2023. That's our hope for 2023, that we have these conversations, we go in depth, and and I think we settled several years ago that when you do that, that might not necessarily make you the most popular, but what it does do is I think it makes you effective, and effectiveness is, it brings us to a place where um, inevitably the conversations we're having now, everybody else will have next year or the year after.
Right. It'll be the wave. And I'm okay with that. I
Mhm.
completely agree with what you said as far as the next, the transition of conversation. And again, those conversations can be fun, they can be
Sure.
provocative. We can get the giggles out of some of the things that gain traction online. But I think our viewership, our followers, are critical thinkers. We like having deeper conversations. We're educated. We are worldly in a way that we're not. We don't like boxes.
Yeah.
And I think it is time for us to not only um, match our energy, but also stretch
Yeah.
us a little bit further than where we've been. So, and that requires a deeper level of introspection, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. We've got to get deeper than just the taglines, the headlines, the shock. It's so much more than that. And we're so much more than that. So yeah, in a way it's bringing the group chat out, so to speak. Some of the things that we talk about amongst our twos and fews, we want to be a safe space where we can have some of those conversations, and we're not going to go, oh, here you go with that oh, you're going there, where ain't
Yeah.
anybody getting that deep. We want to go that deep. The scoop
Absolutely.
is going to get that deep. Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Let's go.
I will say that doesn't mean that every so often we're not gonna get ratchet. I just want to throw that out there.
No, because it's
Just want to throw that out
It's not
there.
like
It's not,
setting a tone, but not taking out.
let's say we know where we come from. Let's just
Okay, right.
so,
Okay, we're very comfortable. We're
yeah.
very good.
So let's just throw it out there. So yeah, of course, y'all drop your comments as we have these conversations and discussions. We want to hear what you think. Yeah, I saw my boy KG earlier. What's up, man? So I wanted to say what's up to him too. So, all right, you ready?
Let's go. What's up, fellas?
All right.
Hey, the bros is representing on this
Oh yeah.
evening. Hey,
Oh
fellas.
yeah. Oh yeah. What's up, Wesley? Okay, here we go. First up, so TJ Holmes. So you don't have to help me walk all the way through this one. So, Good Morning America anchor TJ Holmes was placed on leave when it came out that he and co-host Amy, is it Robach, I believe is
Robot.
her name, were having an affair. So, from my understanding, both of them were married to other people. And when this happened, as this has happened, it happened over a year. Now, since then, they've also talked about how he's had other relationships with other women on the show while he was married, and even the wife he has now, he had a wife before her that he, I want to say, messed with this wife with, yeah. And now today, another report came out, or today or yesterday. Yesterday, I think it was.
I heard about this a couple days ago.
Okay.
This might have got traction over the weekend. I think I might have heard it first over the weekend. But go ahead, yeah.
It was another writer, younger writer.
She was a correspondent, I believe, that they were trying to build up to do bigger things.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work out. Yeah.
And those two had a relationship as well. So he's still suspended.
They're both still currently suspended.
Yeah, they're both still currently suspended. I saw his wife spoke out too, and said, I read something today where she said she was disappointed with his lack of, what was the word she used? Basically, he just putting all the business out there, like discretion. That was the word she used.
Discretion.
Lack of discretion, given they have a child and all these other things. And so I think let's talk about this. First of all, I have multiple questions, like in terms of I do agree that what we do there should be some form of like separation. I think for a healthy thing. That's
some form of separation of who?
Like who?
Of work?
I don't think you should be sleeping where you work. Let me just say that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And I was trying to figure out a nice way to say that. But,
make that plain.
I mean, but it happens. And we know it happens.
Yeah.
I think, so if he, first of all, he is married, but if he, how far should a corporation go to, monitor, censor, fire somebody who does this in this context when these are two consenting adults or three consenting adults or four, however many people my man mess with. But like, what's the role, first of all? Second, then I got questions about like, what's wrong? Like, why not just get a divorce? When I first read this, I'm like, man, why not just stay single?
See, and I think this even goes beyond him being married at this point.
Yeah.
So we touched on this. This broke before the holiday. So we kind of did this happened when it was a slew of folks getting divorced. And
this around Ime thing too.
Around who?
Ime and Udoka and Nia.
Yes. Yeah. Remember, it was like threesome. And then not Troy Aikman.
Boy.
Hey,
Troy, like, oh,
the football bro, whatever his name is, that look all crazy in the face now with Heidi.
Tom Brady.
Him, yes, that guy. So it was a threesome. We had it all up at the same time, and it was boom, 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 like it was a crazy Tuesday where everybody was just all the affairs was happening. And at the time, I remember that I felt when it was just TJ and Amy had been caught out there and they're now in an affair and it is what it is. I was on the mind of, okay, yes, it is messy. This is touchy. Yes, easily you could have just dissolved your relationships and then it could have been a cute little story that, TJ and Amy found love and, after a certain amount of time, okay, fine. Timing, terrible. But I also was in the mind of, at the end of the day, like, you got to let grown folks do what grown folks do.
Right.
However,
right.
Your question from the business perspective, nobody really knew that TJ had this history of using his workplace as his personal dating pool. Okay.
Cool. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And I mean, considering he and Amy are peers, and these other people were potentially people who were under him, were subordinates of him, relationships from GMA's perspective, ABC's perspective, homie is a lawsuit waiting to happen, especially now in this situation where everything is on alarm. Everyone, it's all out there. We're digging it, and it's breaking news. So any new hot young thing that they bring in there, and let's just be clear, in the business of GMA and what they do, new, young, hot things are the thing. Okay. That presents an issue. So at first I was thinking, okay, this could go left for my boy because he's a brown man with a white woman in this situation, and this is not gonna look good. These wives ain't gonna want to see this. She gonna get talked about for a minute, but somehow it's gonna get twisted and da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's this at this point. I don't think that is going to be this, because before Amy even became Amy and TJ was doing TJ. After Amy, if this was going to sweep under the rug and Amy and TJ were to never be Amy and TJ again, TJ was going to continue to TJ after the smoke cleared.
I mean, history.
There's a pattern at this point.
History agrees with you.
Absolutely. It's not even me trying to just like come for this man, like, because I was for this man. I wanted this man to be happy with his Amy if that's what he wanted to do. But
they did a timeline and showed like this has been going on for, I think it was like 15, like even before, like they were, I was like, whoa. Like you said, they went back to the previous jobs and found, which again made me wonder. That's why I said, like, okay, there's more to this than what we're getting. But at the same time, it also, that's why I came to this thought of, in this situation, granted, these are two consenting adults.
Yeah.
Where does an organization step in? And I'm all for, I'm all for, hey, this don't look good for business, so we need to do something. So I totally get that. I don't know. I just wonder, again, first of all, I think TJ need to not get married ever again.
Ever. Like, this is not your bro.
You don't want to.
Obviously, this is not your jam. Let's not do this again. You run away from brooms. Homie needs a Swiffer. He needs a Swiffer. Here going forward. No brooms for TJ. Okay.
Clearly. And then it made me wonder too, obviously without trying to, again, I don't know the man, but like what is it that he's looking for? Are there, people, some of us who just are looking for something and we just gonna keep going until we find it and don't figure it, like, like there's something.
I don't, at this point, look at him. TJ is an attractive, prominent, he's an entertainer. He has got the lifestyle that he is living. He travels all the time. Like, why would he? So, like, I don't really even think at this point, this man is happy as hell. You know what I mean? And really is not looking to be discreet. He's not really looking to be discreet. The only people who were keeping this quiet were the people at ABC, because it hadn't really became a thing. Nobody had decided to say anything yet. No private investigator or paparazzi, whoever it was, had their camera all off in the back of their cabs in the past. So nobody really cared. Okay, TJ, he a cat daddy. He out here. All right, TJ. You know what I mean? But until it was brought to the screen and now we have to talk about it, Now we got to dig, because people want to know the things, and they were not discreet. It's one thing to have discretion with your spouses, and if you just regular Joe Schmoes and you done found you somebody and y'all tipping around town doing your thing. There's a level of discretion that you're supposed to have, but both of you are recognizable. We look at your faces every doggone morning, and sometimes multiple times, and maybe the weekend if it's really good story. Don't let it be politics season, okay? Like, we see y'all.
Yeah.
Discretion has to happen everywhere, or get your paperwork in order.
They have pictures of them walking down the street arm in arm,
kissing, snuggling, booty all up on his regions and things. Like, this is not, y'all was out here. They were outside. They weren't in no cabins, cuddled up off in the woods and the ducked off in the cut. They were outside. So I'm like, you really had to expect.
So do you also think that it is, because we hear a lot about TJ, and maybe this could just be me. I have yet to hear a lot of this same kind of smoke coming for Amy.
Maybe there is no past smoke for Amy. Amy
Well, I
been a
mean, in
married
terms
ass
of,
woman.
well, I'm saying in terms of like even it's been she was married. Okay, like what TJ? Like I don't see the same
She
level.
also filed for divorce first. Like she's just about done. Yeah, Amy
Okay, so
started
yeah.
her paperwork
Okay,
and taking care of her dissolution
okay, that makes
back like October, like long, before it really became a thing.
okay.
Where when Amy and TJ, before they really broke, Amy has started doing her paperwork.
Okay.
So it was just like, oh well, Amy chose something different, and her timing was messed up, but Amy chose something different, and she doesn't have the history of from what we've seen. Because I'm pretty sure they're dipping into hers too, and at this point, I don't think ABC is really covering for either of them because they tired of talking about it all. So at this point, they're like, look, we kind of sick of it. This is what we found out with him. This is where we at with her. And whoever going to end up, may the odds be ever in your favor. You know what I mean? And it's going to look like Amy is just going to be that. And it's going to be twisted in some of these outlets as though she was I never knew. Because here I saw The Root had done a very slanted piece about her most recent comments about the whole thing, saying she didn't know that TJ had the past that he had with other coworkers in at GMA. She may not have been privy to all of those details. And I mean, how many dudes go and disclose all of that? Well, sister girl from 2 cycles ago, yeah, that was me and her for a couple months. Oh yeah, and before like 4 years ago, there would not probably be a TJ and Amy had Amy known all that was going on. And this is one of those things where you keep your ish together so people don't have the opportunity to spin ish around on you and make you look like this crazy person. Okay, because if you didn't have what you have going on, you wouldn't be in the position for this white girl to be sitting here looking like, oh, this suave debonair man just might have taken advantage a little on me, like, because that's how it's going to end up being spun, regardless if that's how she plays it up or not. He's put himself in that position where that can easily become the story. So we got to be more careful. In the year of our Lord, 2023.
You think she gonna marry him?
Ooh, not soon. I think they really, for them to have tried for them to have doubled down the way that they did together when all of this ish hit the fan, they really do care for each other. I don't think that this is just some celebrity.
No, this is like 2 years. I don't think so either.
It would have been very easy for them to just be like, okay, cool, our bad, never mind, and let it calm down, let the people chill out. But they've been seen since all of this still together. So, and even then she's just like, well, I didn't know all that was going on, but she has not said this is ending us. So I'm interested to see how it all plays out. And if GMA cuts them, I see them popping up somewhere together. Somebody gonna put them on the screen because their chemistry was undeniable. When it did come out, the people who consistently watched GMA were not shocked. Like they were like, "Oh, okay, well, that tracks. That tracks." Saw that coming. Yeah, like, and I've even seen people say like, you can't. That's one of the main ingredients to become one of the main recurring anchors on those shows. You have to have chemistry with your coworkers. Now, there's also levels to that, but you've got to be able to banter. You've got to be able to be quick on your feet. You've got to be able to look like you like these people. You know what I'm saying? You're all over the world and covering some tough stuff. So you got to be able to look over at your coworker and look like, I care. Or if you're playing and you want to do something flirty and it's one of those things and it's just it's so many of that, and we traveling and we doing all these things before people gonna do what people do. And when people are single, it can happen and it can be what it is. But when you got to marry people, then
hold up.
You there's a thing called self-control.
Right, hold up.
Yeah. That one's wild though. I'm intrigued by it. And but as the details come out, if the facts are what they're actually reporting, I'm not really. I'm not buying the black man gonna take the fall for big. That's not what this is to me. I think the black man has been messy and got his skirt is showing, his slip is showing, and now it's time for you to tighten it up. And
yeah, I personally don't believe that she didn't know.
Didn't know that he had those previous.
Now I could say like the ones from way back, okay, maybe, but like the other people who were on that show, yeah, I can't.
She might not have cared.
Now I can see she might not have cared, but but I can't see her not.
Because if they both knew, because it's also been reported that both of them had been unhappy in their marriages for a long time. And TJ, obviously, his ass don't need to be married at all, so ain't no telling how long he's been unhappy. He probably got married and was unhappy.
They were separated, like him and his wife were separated, so it wasn't like yeah. They were separate, had been separated for a year, and then were getting back, were working through. Like I guess they were in counseling and stuff like that, trying to figure it out. And she was like, "I ain't obviously you ain't going to figure it out because you still
ain't working like I thought it was." Yeah.
So
which
again brought me to the point of why go through all of that. What is it? Which brought me to the question of like, what is it about a relationship that makes us hold on to the relationship even though we want to be gone? Because his actions say I'm done, but you're going through, but you're going through the motions of trying to work it out. Like what happens, not just in this relationship, I've seen it happen in other relationships too, where like I think there's definitely this, I want it to work out, but just in case, let me get something ready. I've seen that, which I'm not saying is good, but why not just say like I'm done and move on?
That takes a whole lot of courage. That when you've got a whole lot of status, a whole lot of expectation, a lot more eyes and all of that on you, it makes that more complicated. You've got children, you've got money, you've got your investments, all of these things tied into that. And even for regular folks, those things still within the realm of that status level matter. And, when you, it's from outside looking in, this is why I'm always the one that is like, when we're so quick to take a hard stance on how things should be and how people behave, and I know sometimes it catches people off guard with me being the woman, because women are always like, this is how it's supposed, like, no, that's not it. And I'm like, no, you know what I mean? From both sides, that's not always the case. And I think when you have a lot of moving parts, a lot of intertwinings of your life, and this was not his first marriage, this was not his first, damn, I'm here again. I can't imagine the things that he's thinking as a man, as the standards that have been set for him, and then the desires that he has set for himself and how they may conflict. Like, I can only imagine what all of that might culminate as, and then how that plays out in the real world. I can't even imagine. And I feel that not only for a TJ with all of the things that he carries, but I see that for a man of the town who is revered as the stand-up guy and goals and the head of this, or oh girl, if only he was, and all the men telling their sons, that's the man,
that's the one you want to
you want to, coach and the pastor and all of those things, all of those titles and wonderful occupations are still occupied by humans. And I feel that we often forget that, and that all of these things play out, and it's not so simple in execution when humans weigh all of their circumstances, seen and unseen. So yeah,
this one, I think, and that's exactly where I was going. I think that we don't recognize again, we're not saying that it's right to cheat,
No.
but that it's not just easy just to say I'm out. And even for just
Regular single
random
folks with
dude.
nothing, no
Yeah,
ties.
random
Yeah,
dude. Because
right.
there's an emotional cost that that comes with that. Like you said, multiply that by this is your second marriage. Multiply this is by
I'm older. We
I'm
ain't young.
older. I've got some other things. So you add all that on top of it. That there's definitely some levels to this that make a person say,
No,
"No,
no.
you don't," or nobody gets married. Signs of hope here. So maybe okay, maybe this
Mhm.
no, that ain't it. Okay, wait, I saw okay, this is hopeful. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna work through it this time. No, no. So I think
Mhm.
that's the part that a lot of times as we're making these decisions or as we're thinking about this, we're not thinking that these are the things that a person has to go through.
And what
Um
and to that, because that's and I'm because I'm my head is hurting, so I don't know how long these thoughts gonna hold on, which is why. But to that point, yes, we don't all you go into these modes with a set expectation, and and life still happens in the meantime of all of that trying. So you have to think about a relationship that has already been in a state of either both or one person is not getting something that they need. And we don't always know if there's been a conversation or that vulnerable moment where it's been shared that this is what it is. And, um, you know, there's work being done. But when those moments that you just spoke about where okay, we're good and all right, maybe there's some hope and we're gonna try and do this again. And then some and you're moving and okay, this and then life happens and then and it rocks you and then things go on that damn, this was even worse. Now we in a okay. All right.
yep.
But people these are the
Yep.
trials.
Yep. Yep.
These are the tribulations. This is what you do it for. This when you come out on the other side of this is gonna be so beautiful. And you were thinking, but bro, I was damn near done before this. So like I
That
don't even
part, right?
know if I got it to
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
this again. And
Yeah.
you can't say that outside to anyone else. One, because what happens in your house stays in your house, and okay,
Mhm.
fair, whatever. But at the same time, you're also trying to then solution with the person. So even the person that you have these feelings that you're supposed to have these conversations with and be all transparent and vulnerable with, this is also the person that you've expressed all of the things that you're not happy about and all these things. And you're going to hear you come again with the person who's also trying, hopefully, to fix it, to meet you, to do
Mhm.
the things. That's
Mhm.
a lot of pressure that you signed
Mhm.
up for. True,
Yeah.
because you said the do, you did
Yeah.
the been at you, but that is still when you look at and ask that question that we don't ever really wait for the true answer for of why would a person, what could you possibly? It's a
Mhm.
part of you. If you just do this, that's just how you are. You really have to think about the thoughts that and what goes on in that person. All those people are not just trash ass people who don't deserve love and all that should be dispelled to the side and nobody should ever look at them again
Right.
because that's just their character. No, I don't think that's true. And there's a lot more to that than what is easy for us as outsiders to say, no,
Yep.
I would never,
Absolutely.
or I could never. Those people, all right. Okay.
Like, wait till you there. Then you're gonna be like, oh yeah.
Yeah. You gotta give there's grace in living. Especially for us. Like if anybody should be giving grace, it's us to one another. Because we know this is not an easy, this ain't easy out here. Yeah.
All right. We're gonna move on. You got anything else about that? Oh no.
No, I'm gonna just keep paying. I'm gonna keep watching. I'm gonna see. I think they both gonna get let go. I do not think Amy nor TJ will grace the GMA morning show no more. But I am interested to see where that go, because it just because they leave the show won't mean we won't hear about that anymore. We've talked about it too long, separate from GMA. So I think they'll end up with something else. If they stay together, I think they're going to end up with something.
They about to get a reality TV show. Sure. They just the other ones, the Grizzlies or whatever, they gone, so they got to find something. That's what we talk about. We're gonna talk about them, but yeah, now we gotta go. Yeah,
because that was my family. Yeah. I rocked with the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
Todd was my dude. Is my dude. I like Todd.
I didn't watch them like that, but they were nice people. But
I did. I enjoyed that show very much. But that's a cold world. Got to pay the people. They gonna come for their money. You cannot get a whole ass reality TV show and not pay the people their money.
Like they don't know. Like they don't know you got a reality show.
That was privilege until it was revoked. They revoked the hell out of them privileges.
Y'all didn't learn from Wesley now? Y'all didn't learn from Ron Isley? Y'all didn't learn?
Those were black people. No, they did not.
They said we not them.
All them examples were wrong. No.
Yep.
Oh, they didn't have our lawyers.
I got to find some white folks that went away from tax evasion. But anyway.
Yeah, because we need a new list. If we start
Wesley and Ron,
they don't even know about Wesley and Ron. They don't even know they had troubles. They just thought Wesley was chilling. He wasn't making no movies. If he ever knew that they was making movies in the first place.
Like Wesley, the guy from Blade? Oh,
yeah, right.
Blade, man. Blade. They didn't see New Jack City.
He don't go back. Blade. No, he probably gonna remember from Woo or something very whitewashed. He ain't gonna remember no damn Blade. He remembers.
You gotta watch. Well, you never know. Anyway.
Yeah, this is how I know you really didn't watch the Grizzlies.
I did not watch the Grizzlies.
Todd Chrisley's zesty self watched Woo over Blade. Trust me. Or whatever that movie was where he was drag queen, he was doing the cross dress, whatever that was, he watched that one before Blade.
All right, I'm gonna go with
that.
I've never watched it. I watched it one time and I was like, okay.
To know him, Mr. Lover, man, he was out. They are awesome. That's the awesome, cool little ass family, but they gonna have to do that time. It's gonna be a while before we see him.
Yeah.
Oh, poor baby.
All right.
Moving on.
Very interesting happenings this last week too. So, to follow up primetime Deion Sanders, who coached at Jackson State, we're now seeing a movement of players who are trying to coach. So Bethune-Cookman had reached a tentative deal with former Baltimore Ravens safety Ed Reed to coach their football team. Well, before he officially signed the contract, Ed Reed went on a rant. Yes, he did. Where he talked about how bad the facilities are at Bethune-Cookman, that people are stealing, that they're not doing what's right for the kids, and said some very pointed, harsh things about Bethune-Cookman. Before, I want to say this again, before he actually signed the contract, he also had been working, according to him, had been working, starting like recruiting and things like that without a contract, signed contract, because they had agreed in principle but hadn't worked it out. And so after he made these pointed, he went on this interview, said prime time was right, referring to Deion Sanders talking about people stealing from the kids and systematic things wrong with HBCUs. Bethune-Cookman decided not to hire him. They decided that they would not hire Ed Reed and that they would part ways and find another coach. To which Ed Reed, they were, I don't know if he on purpose posted a video, but a video was posted of him saying that they didn't hire him and he was not going to be the football coach. So now
you say you don't know if he meant to post that video.
Meaning, I don't know if he set it up and said, "Hey, I don't know if he said, "Hey, videotape this real quick," or
okay,
or if the person, he clearly was right in front of the video camera.
Okay,
so he didn't know. He was literally like the video camera was like.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I saw it. It was right. It was literally like here. So yeah, he saw it. Yeah. But I'm not saying so. He
I'm with you now.
Not coaching, and now the students, and from what I'm told, also several of the alumni are trying to pressure the university to actually hire Ed Reed, and so this has been talked about all across the HBU circles, and even the sports circles in some instances. Should Ed Reed have been hired? Should he have should he have been hired? Should he have not had that conversation? It's almost like a side of saying, well, he's right, so it's okay, and the versus the side that's saying we're not. He might be right, but you ain't got the job, man, and you don't just be publicly go off about your boss. Your boss is before you get the job, or even while you have the job. So you might want to be quiet. So. Yeah, let's talk about it. What's your thoughts? Do you feel like he should have said something? He shouldn't. He was right. He was wrong. He should have handled it different. What do you think?
So I didn't know that he had not yet been hired completely before he was was it a golf cart or something he was riding around and recording at the school, taking video about the trash and all of that. Okay. So that kind of shifts things for me. So he was like touring? Was he like?
So he had started working because they agreed in principle. They said, we agree in principle that we're going to hire you, but they hadn't officially signed the contract yet. They said, we're going to hire you, but we got to work some stuff out. We need.
And he did his tour expose before speaking to administration.
Now, I don't know if he had spoke to them and gave them these grievances already. I don't know. But I know.
Even if he had, I don't know if that was a proper amount of time to allow them to resolve.
It wasn't. He's been there a week.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done it this way. I wouldn't have done it this way.
He's also saying, let me throw this out, that he had already secured investors, Black wealthy investors, to come in and help upgrade the football field, some of the buildings and things like that at Bethune-Cookman. Let me just throw that out.
Well, this was so unnecessary then. Did they ask for this? Did they say you'll get the check after you put the people on blast? Like we have to justify the means for sending the money? Then no. I can't rock with this. I'm all for being revolutionary when it's justified. I will stand on some tables and do what's necessary when I've said what I needed to say. I was calm, I was cool, I was collected, I played the game, I did the rules, my stuff was in order, and you still playing in my face? Oh, okay. Got you. I have other things I can do. This ain't the only thing I can do. I got you. That's not what this now appears to have been. And I think that's some. And when I heard that the students were wanting him back when they did the petition, and like I had to kind of walk you through the TJ and Amy one, you're gonna have to fill in some blanks for me on this. But when I saw that the students were wanting him back, my initial thought was, okay, this generation of students is all for the movement, for shaking shit up, for protest, for exposing. Hey, we gonna go straight to where it hurts. We're not gonna wait for you to talk about it and him and all and play in our faces. We're gonna show everybody what our issues are, and then we're gonna let it happen. Now we gonna give it all. We gonna all talk about it now because it's all out here, which in many ways I respect.
Absolutely.
Okay, I respect the hell out of that. However, there is still in these types of institutions that got long money, respectability politics is still very much a thing. And they are the grantors of opportunity. Your resolution still resides with that group, that thought, that mindset. So completely disregarding all of the playbook and strategies that we know tried and true get results.
It's a level of wisdom. Yeah.
Makes no sense to me. And this man is old enough to recognize that. So it feels like he done let these babies put that battery in his back where he should have been able to say, okay, y'all, I feel you. I will be that guy that will get up here and say the things and make them mad. I'll piss people off. But we are first going to have to allow the opportunity for them to fix what we said needs to be fixed. Yes, it shouldn't have been broken in the first place.
Right.
But here we are.
Right.
We the people that's going to get it fixed. But we have to allow those people to actually fix it. Because if you embarrass me first,
I'm done.
I'm not very excited. I'm not very motivated to be a partner with you in this resolution. I'm just not going to do it.
I feel like so first of all, I don't know if it was the students. I think what happened was, first of all, he went in with a level of privilege thinking, I am Ed Reed. First of all, I'm Ed Reed. I am a University of Miami. I'm from the U, one of the top safeties to ever play the game, Hall of Famer. And that's who I am. So I have a level of privilege that I can say stuff. I think he thought, and I'm coming in on the backs of Deion Sanders and what Deion Sanders did and said about Jackson State. And so because I have that momentum coming in, plus who I am, I'm just going to put it out there. I'm not going to go through those steps of let me have the conversation, let me give them time, and then I'm just going to throw it out there. I think that's what he heard. Plus, this is recruiting season. So I think for him, he also is seeing, I'm trying to, like, this weekend or last weekend, they have a group of recruits coming to the campus that he's trying to get to come here, to play football here. And this is what I'm trying to bring, what they got to come and see. Like, if they got to come between here and the U, they go into the facilities of the U because y'all got track, So I think all of that.
All valid points.
Yeah, and all of that, was playing in his mind. To your point, none of that in terms of the process of what he was thinking was wrong. I think where he messed up at was, first of all, if you want to compare yourself to Deion Sanders, you cannot. Let's start there. Because from a football standpoint, yes, you had a great career, Hall of Fame career, just like Deion Sanders did. But Deion Sanders is a brand and has as a brand for 20 plus years. You, sir, are not. Number two,
I didn't know nothing about this dude other than what you just told me, and that he was ranting about the school in the golf cart.
Yeah, and that's what I knew. The other part is Deion Sanders, while he was complaining, was also on the phone with Walmart saying, when Deion Sanders got out of the car to say he was going to be the coach, the next couple of days it was, we just struck X amount of dollars deal with Under Armour. So now we're bringing in this. So he hit the ground running, making these changes where now all of a sudden, now that I've got the backing, now the first year we win some games that we didn't win before, I built some. Now all of a sudden my words mean something.
I'm a partner now.
And on top of that, not even so much am I a partner, I am bringing in hundreds of, not to say hundreds, but millions, multi-millions of dollars, not just into Jackson State University, but Jackson, Mississippi, to the point now where the city is trying to come in and figure out ways to now, like you said, to partner, to keep me as a partner.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't did none of that, Mr. Reed.
You ain't even got a job yet, Craig.
You ain't even signed the contract yet. And now you're walking in doing it. So it's nothing. I don't have an issue with anything he said. I think everything he said was probably absolutely on point. Mm-hmm. But the fact that you did it before a contract was signed, the fact that you did it before you were even able to show any type of value, the fact that you did it before you ever decided you wanted to seriously partner, besides put your name on it and say that you had some billionaires, not show, but say that you had this, which, by the way, I don't know, because I mean, hey, guess what? Dion couldn't get these people to give money to Jackson State. Now you able to get all these billionaires together to give you money
and attached to all this controversy in this way.
Okay,
where the check?
Okay, so. And if they should not do it just because you're not there anymore. Let me throw that out there. And I ain't telling nobody what to do with their money. But if you see the value of HBCUs, then guess what? Then write the check.
Completely agree.
So,
yeah. I also think if I was team cut the check before, and knowing that this school is now going through all of this, I would probably move my engagement to the school, as opposed to attaching my donation to
a person.
Yes.
Now I would want some influence over the coach is if I'm about to give you
that too.
But yeah, because I would need this program to come up. But at the same time, I'm not. Yeah,
this is legacy building, not just from a coach perspective.
Right.
Stoops didn't just build Stoops' legacy. Stoops built the legacy of that school.
Right. OU.
He is and was consistently pushing against how we as fans, a state who was benefiting from all of the wonder that his leadership was bringing to that school, he consistently, while coaching and even after, when they tried to bring him back to come in and save the day, this program is not me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This man, before he even got his damn name on the door, is acting like all this finna be me. All this needs to be. I'm the one that's bringing the change. It was very selfish, and that too, it felt selfish.
Yep.
Regardless what his true intentions and motivations are. All of this rah-rah around the trash and all of that. A weekend of school community service, and we gonna have a project, and everybody, let's team get to school together. Would have had that wrapped up cute, and that would have been a real nice little package to run on GMA.
Sure.
Prime is an entertainer. Prime knows how to spin something. Prime would have had them out there on Saturday morning with the GMA 3 crew, watching BC clean up the campus with the t-shirts and the music and the TikToks and all of that. So everybody would have been trying to donate to BC to keep it clean and do all of the things. And everybody would have been, y'all need some more money? What's next weekend?
Yep.
So no, I wouldn't want to attack. It's how you present.
And that's exactly
what it is.
It's even what he's doing now. I mean, I was watching something yesterday where now when he talked about Dion, but yeah.
But I mean, it works, and he did that. He did not. He didn't understand his assignment. He set the blueprint. All homie had to do was walk in and do exactly what Dion did. That is not what that man planned for when he set that tone at Jackson State and moved on and doing his thing at other places. He was there long enough for people to be able to understand what happened there and go in and do that. If that is really what they wanted him to do. All that shit we talked about him leaving and how he just gutted the HBCU motivation and all of that. No, you made it so I couldn't be one mole coming in behind him, and we're gonna be the coalition of the old school that's coming in and rebranding HBCU. It's not about you.
Right.
And he showed us that. It wasn't about him. It was about setting the tone and continuing to move on and continue to do good. That's legacy.
Yeah, I feel like we don't do well with that.
We don't
do well with that. We like to erect altars when something. We erect altars and keep them there in statues and think that a person is supposed to there. But I think the bigger thing, that other part of this that concerns me is we don't recognize. Let me say, we do recognize, but it's almost like we don't recognize how dangerous moving like that can be. And the reason I say we do recognize is because the same people who are complaining about it, I thought you would never do this to your employer. No. You would never go online with a video camera showing all of the bad stuff that happens with your employer and expect them not to fire you.
No.
So why you think this was going to work? And again, that's what I said. It's almost as if that's where I think the privilege piece came in. Like, you thought that because of who you are, and we think, well, he's Ed Reed, he should be able to do this. No, he's Ed Reed, but this ain't. First of all, this ain't the Baltimore Ravens. This isn't the NFL. This is a corporation. Mm-hmm. You are talking to a corporation when you are talking to a university. Mm-hmm. And in a corporate setting, the rules are you don't embarrass me. And you don't do it. Hell, you don't do it in the NFL. There's a level of it.
I was just about to say, like, you can't even do it.
There's a level of it that you can do in the NFL if you're big enough. And there's enough of the NFL that they could, make stuff disappear. But you don't. But not in academia. There's no.
No. There's a game, and I think there is a time for us to dismantle systems and remix and rearrange and make them more equitable and balanced, and give more people the opportunities to participate. I think that is absolutely the way of the future. However, I think a lot of the ways that we feel going about it are extremely counterproductive to the very real, valid, integrity-rich reasoning for why we're doing it. And I think there's got to be a grounding, and I'm speaking to our community, because we are very much in a, you know what? I'm sick of this. It's time to change some things up. It's time to make some things happen. This old thing ain't working, so let's throw it all out and start it. That would all work if you were throwing it all out and starting all new, with everyone thinking it all needed to go and it all needs to be new.
Yeah.
While we're still dealing with power structures, mindsets that refuse to change, are set and working for those who they were designed to work for and who have learned to play within the system.
Right.
Acting as though we have to ignore the system, have no need to learn how to play the game or learn the rules and finesse the nuances of the fine prints and how to say the words and switch code the way we need to, is naive. And is why we spend more time pissed than prosperous.
Yeah.
And we have to do better.
There's a wisdom that it takes in order to dismantle systems. I mean, I say that there's a level of recklessness that
is required.
It's required. But it's a level of it. Like, there has to be also some.
It's calculated risk.
There's got to be
calculated risk,
because you can't.
Yes. Yeah. And there's a thing. I know that sounds so crazy. Calculated risk.
It's real.
Strategic recklessness. No, There's a level of shake it up, but you also have to be able to bring it back in. If you can't control the chaos that you create, you're now a problem. Right. That the people who also had the same mission as you now have to resolve, because you're no longer a part of the mission.
You're now a part of the problem.
You're now a part of the problem.
Yep.
So all this rebellious fight power with no power, you're a part of the problem now. It's hard to fight a power when you have not established any power or any direction or strategy to get any.
Or no program. Or a program. That's the part he was missing. You don't have a program.
Not a program.
You don't have a program.
And I mean, that's not even just with Old Boy. Like, we do that with a lot of things within our communities. And the big scale, I was having a conversation with a good friend earlier today about why one group is excelling and doing all of these things and is making us look like we ain't done nothing.
They got a program. They have a whole program.
Called organization.
Yeah, they have a program. They know what they're doing. Yeah. They figured out how to put their money together. They've got a program together. They all said, okay, we're going to follow this program, and they followed the program.
And got it done.
The coach called the play. They executed the play, scored a touchdown.
Touchdown. Field goal. Took it home. Goal ball in the car. And I mean, you can't fault people for understanding how to play. That's not a fault of them. That's an inside job we have to do.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Moving on.
Let's keep it going. What's the next one?
Oh no, this is our nitty gritty right here. This is our sweet spot.
Yeah.
Where we coming on into?
Oh, okay. Got it. Got to see which one was first. All
right.
right.
My little cliff notes. Did you check my cliff notes this time?
I did. I just saw that. That's why I was like, oh, let me read that.
Okay. Trying to guide.
Where we going with this? Got it. All right. Cheating is not always kissing, touching, or flirting. If you got to delete text messages so your partner won't see them, you're already there. So I think I asked the question earlier when I posted this. Mm-hmm. Are there instances where that's not cheating? Is I think what I asked.
Yep.
Yeah. So good discussion on the post actually. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Yeah. What is there a nuance to this? Are there times when this, like I said, when this is not cheating, or the example they give, deleting text messages? If you're deleting text messages, does that mean that you're cheating?
Yeah. Yeah. So before I respond to this, I want to kind of give the viewers a little setup as to these next two topics and why at the lead on of the show, we were like, we want to get a little bit deeper into some of the ways that we automatically have been taught to think about things. Not saying throw all of our past understandings and value systems out of the way. This is these conversations are addressing nuances. It's like a misconception versus misrepresentation in a way that we're going to kind of talk about, or minimization is kind of where we're going with this. So from what this meme is saying, cheating is not always kissing, touching, or flirting. Correct. Emotional cheating is absolutely a thing. If you got to delete text messages so your partner won't see them, you're already there. That's where, if you are having these conversations in a romantic capacity that would make your partner feel some type of way in complete disrespect of your relationship, I agree with that. Yes. However, your question that you asked, as far as the deleting of the messages, making it so that these things are not like when you're just doing a regular scroll, you see these conversations and all of that. To me, that does not automatically mean you are cheating on your spouse if you are taking those precautions for your personal devices, communication, whatever that may be. I've also said many, many times that I feel that just because you become a part of a marriage or a relationship, you do not then dissolve all of your individual your individuality as a person.
Mhm.
So there are still parts of your life that should be private, that can be private if you choose to keep them private. I do feel that there are certain spaces that you should have that should be yours, that you don't have to share, and that is okay, and that should not be presented as or perceived as being distrustful or secretive or things like that. I also think you need to know your partner. If you have a partner who has no boundaries, who doesn't respect your relationships with the people that you have trusted you or love you and confide in you, or you're a lot of people's person. Sometimes it is your job as their person and a part of the relationship with them also to safeguard the conversations that you have with them, to avoid them having to be confronted about private things that they've shared with you, or conversations that you've even been able to share with them in confidence within the realm of a moment, a very specific circumstance. Those things should be protected between you and that person within the realms of your relationship. So, and I don't think everyone agrees with that. I think a lot of people look at marriage as it is all out in the open. You are one person. Your friend is my friend, and their problem, if they share it with you, I need you at the table telling me what they had going on. So we're going to tell them this is what we do. And if that is the union that you have and that is comfortable for you, by all means, do that. I'm going to say I would like to know that that is the type of relationship that you have with your spouse, so I cannot be the person that confides in you.
That part is actually pretty fair. Yeah.
Because I don't want your boo knowing the conversation that I've had with you. I don't have the same relationship with them.
Yeah.
So there's no context there for that. So
yeah.
That's my nuance for that one.
I think that the so especially so I'm in total absolute agreement with you that just because you're in a relationship or marriage doesn't mean you lose your individuality, and that there aren't some places that are for you. I don't. Yeah. I think that about conversations. I think that about money. I think that about about other. Now, what I do say is I don't think that those things should be a secret. Like, it shouldn't be a secret that I'm having conversations that are not, hey, I can't share you all the details because that's private. Like, yeah, I talk to such and such, but I mean, hey, I think that in that regard, you shouldn't be like, I don't think that there's necessarily, in most instances, but there are some nuances to this, but that our relationship should be such where we can't say, hey, there's some things about that I can't share with you, and that should be respected. But to your point, if there are some partners who can't handle that, who and would feel slighted, and so I get that, but it's like, I can't tell you, like, this is legit something I can't tell you. This is not about me not wanting you to know. This is about the safety of said person. So I do get that. And I think that would be the nuance to that statement. Part of me also then has to ask the question, how do you determine in a relationship what those things are? Like, what those nuances are for your relationship, and how do you have those conversations early on, so that or that in your person knows, you all know what your boundaries are in that regard, and then you're able to find out, can my partner respect this boundary? Because if you can't respect this boundary now, then as my conversations get more detailed later, you're going to struggle, and we're not going to be able to make it, because this is a part of my life. There are people who are in, like, I say, like, if you check my phone, but my conversation with my cousins, my conversations with my brothers, like, don't even look at those. If you can't respect that, we not gonna work. because
Mhm.
those are off limits,
Mhm.
and vice versa. If there's some conversations that you having with your girl that's off limits, I don't want to know anyway. But but we should be able to do that, and if we can't, then we need to have a different level of conversation about why you struggle with those boundaries. Is this a trust issue? Is this a personal issue that of something that's you need to deal with? That am I not the person for you? Because especially somebody like myself, I'm a lot of people's an old church full of people who
Same.
tell me
I
stuff.
mean, well, I don't have a church, but yeah.
Who tell me stuff that I can't tell people. So
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
there's a level of I gotta
Yeah.
hold that in that I can't say. So so I think that you have to have those conversations. I think that you have to be able to have that space. I do also think again that you should be able to say um, a person should be able to respect it. I should be able to say, listen, this is a conversation or a space that I need for me, and that's okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Wes what his statement was. I was in thought on how I was going to address this because I know this is one that gets people all kind of, you know, well, you're hiding something if you don't. These damn phones have made people so like I don't understand it. I don't see a reason for that. As much as I understand what you just said, and I would agree with it if someone were to say, well, I think I should know, okay, fine, well, I'll tell you that these conversations are off limits, and if you feel you got to look through my phone, first of all, why? But
Yeah.
stay out of these conversations. But
Yeah.
the root of all of that to me is, what would be the rationale for even needing to have this explanation or having a title? I have a church. I'm on a podcast where
Mhm.
people might say, hey, can you share me? I have a situation, but I'd like to stay anonymous. Or can you talk this through with me? Because that has happened the entire time
All the
before
time.
the podcast. But like when you are people's person or you have a thought perspective that people are drawn to and want to pick your brain of, they share things with you.
Right.
I've been in Walmart and I didn't random ass people pull up to me in the line and they got stuff that like I know way more than I should about random people. Okay. And that is
Ain't
something
you the guy
that,
from the school out?
yes, I am, and it's beautiful that that's happening. Like, I think that's dope as hell that that's happening. And I've made some really good friendships because of that, because there's a trust that's there that they've already built with us here.
Mhm.
So to have to even justify
Mhm.
protecting those types of confidences to someone
Mhm.
who feels like their level should trump all of that
Mhm.
simply because of title, when in all actuality, that ain't got nothing to do with you.
Mhm.
The only reason why you want to know is simply because it's something you don't know.
I have privy to.
So I'm like, why does that now begin to be why we are now beginning to question the person who is doing what they should be, what any person should do? Because if I go digging into what you talking about with you and at the Hoop Fest or at the whatever